Hi, welcome to Forex Trading Tutorial. In this tutorial we're just going to be doing an overview of the mt4 platform. This overview is more towards manual trading. If you are an auto trader, then I have done another version of this video in the auto trading section. That one goes more into tick data testing, and this one's more going to be about drawing lines and how you would interpret the charts. So on this video, what we have here is we have a price chart. Now this is the United States dollar, Canadian dollar hour chart, and when I say an hour, each one of these lines here, which is called a bar, represents 1 hour. Now we have the ability to change the time frame we are trading in. So for example, this is a minute chart. Now this is still going to be United States dollar, Canadian dollar, but now we're trading and each one of these bars represents a minute. So as you can see, maybe in a minute it'll when we get some price action, it'll just change there at the bottom. If you want to have a look at the 5-minute chart, again we just do the same. Now each one of these bars here represents 5 minutes of trading, and so as you can see here, you've got the market moving ever so slightly. So as you can see, depending on how we wish to trade and what time frame we wish to trade, this is a 15-minute, so again each one of these represents 15 minutes. We could then move all the way up to this is every 4 hours, and this is every day, so each one of these represents 1 whole day. So depending on the time frame that you wish to trade, you'll be then trading on a different time frame. Day traders tend to trade on the low time frames, and people who are looking for more medium to long term trades will trade on the day, hourly, daily, weekly, or even monthly. And I'll just show you these just to see how it's different. So as you can see, if you look along the bottom here, we've got 2nd of September down at the bottom here, 2012. We're obviously at the right end here, but this is just the 2nd of September is this column here. But as you can see, it goes all the way down into November 2002. So this is a very long currency chart. I mean, this represents 10 years. And if we have a look at here, this actually only represents, what do we got there? So we've only represents 8 hours. So as you can see, the time frame makes a hell of a difference. And you could even go down to your months. And obviously there's not enough data to go back further than 1991 on the months anyway. As you can see there, we've got a good trend had developed there, but you'd have to be very, very patient, as that is trend's been based over 5 years there. So you'd have to be very, very patient to take your money out of that one. But it all depends on how you wish to trade. So let's just leave it on, no, well, let's put it on the hourly chart so we can see a little bit easier. Now this is will be a bit more slower pace. If you're new, you may want to just try and do it on something like an hour chart, because obviously the time frame doesn't move so quickly, so the trends don't develop so quickly, so it just gives you a bit more time to think. If we just have a look at what's on offer, what we need to do is we can click on here and we can open a new chart. Now if we click on a new chart button, we can choose any of these charts here, or if we go into this Forex or Forex2, it just gives us major and minor currency pairs. So it just depends on what we wish to trade, and we can then just click on here and we've got a few other ones there. Now obviously each one of these will have a different spread. Now the spread is basically the difference between the bid and the ask, and that basically means to a retail trader that just the profit that the broker takes out of every trade. So if we open to trade now, we'd have to, and the spread was a pip, the market would have to climb up 1 pip for us to break even. That means that as soon as we've opened to trade, our trade is always at a loss. So we just need to be able to recuperate that gap to be able to then make money. So once we've chosen the chart that we wish to trade on, we can have a look at different things here. So what we've got here is we've got the navigator, the terminal strategy test. So that's more for robot testing, or if we're going to use the program that allows us to speed up our testing, then we would put it in the strategy tester. We've got our terminal here, which gives us a full outline here. If we can go down to the navigator, that just puts it onto a full screen for us, and we can just have a look at you. And then you've got your data window here. So again, we can just click on various different things. You've got your market watch, which is your bid and your ask spreads, which, as you can see, there's always a gap between the two. And then you can carry on looking down just to see which ones that you want. That's your full screen. And then we just keep going down until we find the things that we want here. So as you can see, we can just play around with it, and we can get a lot more information by just changing it around. So how we actually do trading on the MetaTrader 4 is we can just choose an indicator. If you wanted to choose an indicator, such as say for example we wanted to look at a trend. As you can see, we've got a good trend developing here. And say for example our favorite thing was Bollinger Bands. We can click on here. Now we've got the period. Now that's the period determines the moving average, and the deviation is obviously the how far the bands are apart. I tend to kind of leave it as a standard, because what I want to do is I don't want to retrofit my Bollinger Bands to the market. As long as it covers 90% of the market, then I'm happy with that. So all I do is I just would press OK, and you've got your different levels here. You've got your visualization, so it's all time frames it's going to come in. Otherwise we could click off here and we could just say we only wanted it in certain ones, but we're going to have it in all time frames. So I would just say OK to that, and then that would give me my Bollinger Band. If I wanted to change the colour, I could have changed it into red or whatever. Now, how a Bollinger Band works, very, very simple, is you would note the direction of the trend, in which case the trend is definitely up. And every time the market reaches the lower band is a buy signal, and every time it reaches the top is a sell signal once, but obviously that's in a downward market. So what you're doing here is you're looking to take a trade here, take a trade here, take a trade here, take a trade here, where it buys. But obviously sometimes if you'd have said a buy here, you'd have probably lost a bit of money, depending on how large your stop loss was. But again, obviously it's cruised up a bit more. But if you'd have bought in here, you would have definitely made money. And again, if you'd have bought in here, you definitely make money. And the idea is that you're just working on probability. The probability is that if it's in an uptrend, you've identified an uptrend, and you're buying at the lower band, then you'll make money. In a downward trend, and so I'll just skim back through the data and see if I can find a downtrend for you. So here's a downtrend here. Sorry, I'm going to try and keep it in the right spot for us. Oh, there we go. I won't touch the thing, otherwise it'll go mental. Oh, gone mental. Anyway, so as you could see, with a downtrend, you'd always just do it at the reverse side. So here's a downward trend, and you'll be able to very simply just sell at the tops. So when it's in a downward trend, you would just sell here, and you would just sell here. Again, you'd be looking to sell either at the bottom of the band, or some people decide that they just sell in the middle when it reaches the moving average there. So in that case, what people might do is buy here and they might sell there, or they might decide that they're only going to use the Bollinger Bands and they're going to sell once it reaches the other end. And that's how people use a Bollinger Band. You can have a look at lots of other indicators you can just pop on here. So you can say you can put the alligator on, and again you've got different moving averages. What I find with where's my what I find a little bit annoying with the MetaTrader platform new chart, I want a United States dollar, is that once you put the lines onto the chart, it is a little bit annoying to be able to get them off. So I tend to just start a fresh screen. So all I do is I just close it down and I just open it again. It only takes 2 seconds. So as you can see, if we wanted to put in an indicator, we could have put in all these different ones here. So if we wanted a let's have a look. I wanted an oscillator, and say I wanted an RSI, and I put the RSI in. I want it in red so it's nice and easy to see. So as you can see, here's an RSI indicator here, and how an RSI indicator works is you have your two sections. This, anything over this area is overbought, anything underneath is oversold. And what we're looking to do is basically, if it's in an overbought area, as soon as it goes below, you would then sell. And what we'd then be looking to do is we'd be looking to then, if it breaks in the oversold area, we're then looking to basically, once it goes in, and then purchase it out. So here's an example here. We're looking to then make a buy. So as it dips in and comes out, we're looking to buy. And the thing is, when we decide how we wish to trade, and if we're going to use an indicator such as this, an oscillator, then what we would do is we would just record our trades, just like I'll show you in a different video. And all you would do is record your trade, see where it came out, see if you made any money, and then after you've tested your trading system over a number of times, you'll be able to tell whether or not that trading system works for you. And in another video I will show you exactly how you can do that. Okay, so you can also look if you wanted to put say Gann lines in, or if you wanted to put Fibonacci ratios in, or if you wanted to put in a trend line, for example. We can just draw a trend line in, and we can say, right, okay, well that's the trend line there. And as you can see, we can just draw various different things in. What we're looking when we're doing the drawing of lines or trend lines is we're looking to use technical analysis. So say for example you thought that this area here was support, you could put a line in here, and you could then say, well, okay, once it's bounced off support, it's going to be a buy signal, or if it breaks through support, it can be a sell signal. And there are many books on technical analysis that you can just buy, and what they will do is they'll show you what the actual techniques are. So I'm not here to show you the techniques, I'm here just to show you how you can tell if you have a trading system that makes money, and also to be able to record and test your information. That's more where I wish to spend my time with the videos, really, rather than showing you the fine detail, which you can kind of pick up in most places. This is more about the deep basics of trading. Okay, so once we've had a look at these, we can put in different things, Fibonacci's, you've got shapes if you want to. This is all technical analysis, all of these things here, if you want to be able to write on the thing, or if you want to put cycle lines in. You can have a look at the charts. So again, you can have a line chart if you wanted to. You can pop in a that's back to the bar chart. And what we've got here is you can refresh it, you can zoom in, you can zoom out. So you can then have here, this is we're zooming in here. So what I've put on here is the candlesticks. So this is just a different way of reading the market. It's still a bar, but it will just show you that when it's a solid white part of the bar, that's a sell bar, and when it's black or empty, that's when it's a buy. And people use candlesticks. They believe that if you are using a candlestick, then different patterns can appear in the candlesticks, which can help predict where the market is going. So again, you can just use all these different things. We're going to zoom out a little bit there. We can have a look at the tools here. So if you wanted to put a new order, this is where if you want to make a buy signal, you can click on the order, and then you get this screen up here. So we've got market execution or pending order. So we can put a pending order in, and this is where you can type in your price. A pending order is one that will happen once the market reaches that area. And as you can see here, the opening price must differ from the market by at least 30 pips. So what you're doing is believing that it may well reach an area in the future. So you may have identified a support area that you may think, well, it's going to hold. So therefore you might want to put a pending order in there, or you can basically put a buy, a sell, and it all depends on how you want to do it. Or you can just basically say market execution. So if you want to buy straight away, you can then sell the market by clicking this button, or buy the market by clicking that button there. You can pop your stop losses in, your volume. Now this is the size that you're going to be trading. Now you have to be very, very careful on this bit, on what you're going to do. So what we need to do in another video is I'm going to show you how you can work out what that volume is because it's going to make a hell of a lot of difference to your trading. If you start over trading to the size of your trading system, you will end up losing a lot of money. And it just looks like here you can just put in whatever you figure that you like. Okay, so, and I'm going to do a whole money management video just to show you how you can work out that size from the amount of money you've got in your trading account, but that'll be a different video. So again, you've got your take profit points and your stop losses if you want to set it up as an automatic system. So basically, maybe you want to put a pending order, and you want to put a stop loss, and you want to put a take profit, and you want to basically just leave it to run during the day. When you go to work, when you come back, it will basically, if you were successful, it would have closed that at a profit because you'd have had a take profit. If you are unsuccessful, it would have hit your stop loss. But as long as you've got your volume correct, then you shouldn't have any problems at all. So that's how you would open and close a trade. Now that was here on the tools section. You can also do it by just right clicking on your mouse, and you get a trading new order there. So that's just a different way of doing it. Other things on here, you've got the history center. Now history center is more if you're going to be using trading robots. Meta quotes language editor. Now that is where if you want to create a program for the MetaTrader 4, then you would use that to do so. On options, this is where you would enable expert advisors, check your server, look at your charts, your objectives, your trades. So you can just change certain things that are on here. So your email, whether or not if you've got any incoming events or anything. And this is just things that you can have a look at when you start your trading. So as you can see, we've got lots and lots of things here. The main things you're going to be looking at is just opening Windows tools and just creating a new orders. If you are going to use expert advisors and things, you'll see them. You'll have a few in here, and I've popped a few in there myself, and you've got some different scripts which can go in there. Now if you are going to use a program such as where are we? It's such as, let me just load it up for you. It'll come here in a sec. Such as Simple Forex Tester. Now with Simple Forex Tester, that would also come under here as an expert advisor, and that would just allow you to load in historical data and be able to trade and speed up your trading to give you the ability to compress your learning, which means that you could do a trade like this, you could decide what you're going to do, but you're doing it all on historical data in a demo account, and that just allows you to test your system and see where you are. So that's a very good and very useful piece of kit. Okay, so that's an overview of the MetaTrader 4 platform and how you would use it. So once you're happy with your demo trading, what you would then do is just open a live account, and then you would start with your real money. But always start with a demo account first, and only ever trade what you can afford to lose. Until the next video.